This is historic West Point as we have NCAA wrestling for you. Army taking on Harvard, and West Point got out to an early start with a pin in the 125-pound match. Fernando Martinez getting the pin over Ryan Fitzgerald. Now at 133, one of the key matches in this meet. Robbie Preston for Harvard going up against William Simpson and Jeff Blatnick. What do you look for in this one?
Well, this should be a great match. Robbie Preston coming back, joining the lineup for Harvard. They felt that was going to be a big plus. William Simpson's got a heck of a pedigree. Brothers Philip and Pat, both Army wrestlers. Pat, a three-time All-American, including a runner-up finish in '05. So he's capable of great things. He's got it in his blood.
All right, two very determined wrestlers ready to go, and the match is underway at 133.
Once again, Army coach Chuck Barbie felt that this was a weight class they needed to win to have a shot at knocking out Harvard. They got the first one at 125 pounds. This is 133.
You see the number next to Preston. That's his national ranking. So despite not being with the Harvard team for the first semester, he's still ranked at 14th.
And then on a single leg, what he's going to try to do is unlock those legs, step up, and try to turn and face his Army opponent. If he's able to do that, he has a shot at the takedown. Here's coming the first step. And he's not quite there yet, but he's in a position where he possibly could score. But action goes out of bounds. Oh, there you go. They're letting it go. 1 foot was in bounds. They let it continue.
So Robbie Preston picks up 2 points for the early lead.
And he's got back points here. Well, they're out of bounds. They won't get back points, but he has them in danger. Needs to drag them inside that goal line. If he's able to do it, back points will be awarded.
And there he is. He's awarded 2 points. So now he leads 4-0 as Harvard tries to get on the scoreboard. We're early on. Army leads 6-0 after a pin by Fernando Martinez in the 125-pound match.
That was a big rule change last year where they allowed the wrestling really to continue out of bounds as long as 1 foot was in it. It expanded the mat literally 4 feet, if you will, where your feet could still be in bounds. And it opened up scoring. A lot of people use that out of bounds line to try to stop the action. And that rule keeps it going.
Talking to Coach Jay Weiss, he doesn't hide his pride in Robbie Preston. He said he's arguably one of the 4 best wrestlers in Harvard history, and Jay Weiss was thrilled to have him back for the Crimson.
Simpson dodged a bullet by being out of bounds. No back points were awarded there, so the score's 4-0. They must have given the 2 points in bounds. He must have been on his back before he went out of bounds. The referee gave him the points. It was a good takedown by Preston.
Go out of bounds. There's Coach Jay Weiss looking on, and a frustrated Coach Jay Weiss, as we spoke to him before this match, just snake bit in the injury department this year.
And 2 ranked wrestlers, both out. And he was hoping this was going to be a full lineup for a change.
So Preston continues to add to his riding time advantage. He's over a minute.
And there, more back points. Referee counting it out. And there's 3.
He gets 3 points to make it a 7-0 lead. Now, if he wins this by more than 8 points, he gets a major decision, which would be key. There you see lower right corner. That's where we keep the riding time. It's over 1.5 minutes for Preston in this match. If he holds it for over a minute, when the match is finished, he'll be awarded an extra point.
And he's in a position to possibly get a fall against Simpson here. And he does.
So Robbie Preston is back for Harvard in a big way. He evens up this match at 6 apiece by getting the fall on William Simpson at 133 pounds.
And that shows you how good Robbie Preston truly is. Simpson is no pushover, and he handled him very, very easily.
So Preston ranked 14th, shows why in that matchup against Simpson. Coming up at 141, another good one for you. It'll be the youth against the veteran. Freshman Matthew Kyler going up against senior Max Meltzer. But it was Robbie Preston getting it done for Harvard with the pin, and we're all tied at 6 apiece.
So you've got the hottest cell phone. Now you need the hottest games to play on it. Get the latest and greatest games to play anytime, anywhere you want. Text FF35 for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Text SP35 for Spider-Man. Text MD35 for Magical Drop 2 or text DD35 for Diner Dash. And send it to 77888. Choose any of these great games to play right on your cell phone. And don't forget to text your choice to 77888.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Fantastic. Quality.
Wow. Thanks to the latest Bose technology, it is now possible to have for the first time the same noise reduction benefits in on-ear headphones as we achieved in the award-winning Quiet Comfort 2 around-ear headphones. And now you can choose your preferred style, QC2 or the new QC3 headphones. Wear them when you fly to experience less noise at the flick of a switch. And create your own private sanctuary. Originally designed for planes, owners tell us about other uses, less distraction at work, to unwind after a hectic day, or to find your own space.
Sound quality is fantastic. Peace.
Order QC2s or the new smaller QC3 headphones. Try them risk-free for 30 days. Order by January 31st for a free MP3 player, and you can make 12 easy payments. Quiet Comfort headphones. Hear the difference Bose technology makes.
We are back at West Point as Harvard and Army have traded pins in the first 2 matches. And Jeff, every point counts in collegiate wrestling.
Yeah, it does. You get 6 when you pin your opponent. A normal decision between 1 and 7 points is worth 3 for the team. A major decision, which is a margin of victory between 8 and 14, is worth 4. If there's a 15-point differential, that's called the technical fall. It terminates the match right there. That's worth 5. And, of course, the pin's 6.
All right, so now another key match for Chuck Barbie and Army 141, a contrast in styles. The senior for Harvard, Max Meltzer, going up against the freshman from Army, Matthew Kyler.
Let's hear it for Kyler. Both coaches had praises for these wrestlers, starting with Meltzer. Runner-up in the EIWA last year, national qualifier, Midland place finisher. He's been a captain for 2 years. Matt Kyler, the freshman, mentally tough, hard to score on, always keeps great position. He was a Pennsylvania state champ, a junior national champ, which is a great credential for recruiting. And he said he's one of the most composed freshmen he ever seen.
And the first period will be very key for the freshman, not trying to keep Meltzer off from getting a roll.
The way it goes here, Kyler's tough to score on. It's going to be hard for Meltzer to penetrate and get to the legs. He likes low ankle shots. Look for him to be picking at the corners.
Meltzer ranked 15th nationally, just like many of his teammates. Has been battling injuries throughout the season, but he's back at full strength for Harvard.
Part of the scoring tactics is you want to unbalance your opponent. The best way to attack him is to have him out of his defensive posture. So you see a lot of pulling on the head, a lot of circling, motion, changing levels. These are all different ways to try to take your opponent out of a defensive posture.
Meltzer, a high school teammate of Robbie Preston at perennial powerhouse Blair Academy. And Coach Weiss said it was a noticeable difference in the practice room when those 2 guys weren't around.
And Coach Buxton from Blair Academy is here watching because he's got a few different guys here between the 2 teams competing. Blair Academy, the #1 prep school in the nation in wrestling. Oh, what a beautiful shot by Kyler. He caught Meltzer flat-footed. He got in clean. Let's see if he can finish this takedown attempt. Look for him to try to step up with 1 foot, and then he'll turn and pivot and try to face his opponent, putting him in a really good leverage position. But Meltzer, the senior with experience, able to tie that up. Referee calls a stalemate. They'll restart.
55 seconds left in the first period at 141. Max Meltzer against Matthew Kyler.
There's those head snaps. They pay dividends in the 3rd period because they'll make your back burn by then. They really take a lot of energy out of you. Constantly reacting to an opponent is fatiguing, to say the very least. You see these two traveling around. They're not standing and pawing. They're pushing, they're giving ground, they're circling. All tactics to unbalance it.
Meltzer improved to 8-3 on the season with the win last night over Lehigh. 10 seconds left in the first period.
Same position we saw a minute ago. Let's see if Kyler has perhaps a better way to finish, but he runs out of time. Two good shots came up empty.
So Coach Barbie said the first period was key for the freshman. What did you see from him there early?
I saw good leg attacks by the Harvard wrestler, and I saw great defense by the Army wrestler. Exactly what you're supposed to do. But when you get to the red zone, you got to score.
Kyler on top as we get underway in the second period. The second and third period's 2 minutes long.
See if he can get his escape. Meltzer there playing the line a little bit. Drops down to the leg to try to return him. If you don't return your opponent quick enough, the referee can hit you for stalling. Once he stands, you either try to get him back down to the mat or cut him, let him free. Otherwise, you might get a stall call. We've seen that a lot in collegiate wrestling. By not cutting him loose, Meltzer keeps his riding time going. Smart tactic by the Army wrestler.
Now, we've mentioned that Kyler just a freshman, but already he leads Army in wins overall with a record of 23-6. Cadets have not waited for him to make an impact.
Correct. And potentially dangerous anytime you have legs in like that and you are totally off the mat and in a standing position, they'll break it for potentially dangerous. Safety, the number one concern to the referee of these athletes. Spiral ride here by Meltzer, and he cuts him. Kyler able to get away.
So that's a
Excuse me, Meltzer able to get away.
So that's a point for Harvard.
Take up and in. Drop in on it. Go back, Kyler. Let's go. Good shot.
1 minute left in the second period. Still anybody's match.
See if Kyler can get it going here. Meltzer was in twice, but the freshman stopped him. Oh, and you see what that head snap does. Able to unbalance him. Meltzer just couldn't pull the trigger on the shot, but he had an opportunity. Those are what you try to create. Get him out of his defense and into a vulnerable state.
Inside pie, man.
15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds left in the second period.
I'm more and more impressed with Kyler as I watch him. He's able to maintain ground. Now he's starting to push into Meltzer more and more. And this match might come down to conditioning.
So after 2 periods, it's only 1-0 for the senior, Max Meltzer of Harvard. Still anybody's match at 141 pounds. 2 minutes left now as we get set for the third period. Meltzer will start on top. Coach Barbie said the freshman would not be intimidated. Certainly has not been.
Not at all. And you can see how he's mentally tough. He was in trouble with both those leg shots by Meltzer, and he was able to counter them both very, very well. No riding time here with Meltzer on top. It's chewing into the riding time that Kyler had built up. So everything's pretty even here. But Meltzer doing a nice job here trying to put Kyler on his back, but nothing doing. Referee did give a 1 count, but you need a 2 count by the referee to get points. Criteria, 45 degrees, angle of your back to the mat. And Meltzer just cuts him.
1:15 left in the third period.
And he cut him at exactly 0 on the riding time clock. So Nobody has an advantage there.
Now it's all even at 1.
It's going to be who wants to take down the most. Otherwise, we go to overtime. Plenty of time for either athlete here. Still plenty of motion. They're still active. There's a shot attempt by Harvard, and there you see Kyler in on the ankles. This is what he likes to do. See if he can drag him back in bounds. That's a very
30 seconds left in the third.
You see the left arm of Meltzer over Kyler's right arm. That's called a whizzer. That's the big defense here. He keeps dragging Kyler forward so he can't circle behind.
18 seconds left.
And Meltzer doing a good job trying to keep him on that out-of-bounds line. He might find refuge if they go out.
10.
Can the freshman finish this hold?
5.
That whizzer is just so tight he can't limp arm out.
So Meltzer holds on to stave off defeat. The freshman cannot finish it off and get the W. So now we go to overtime.
And this first minute will be what they call sudden victory. A takedown wins the match. We'll go to part 2 if we get there.
In sudden death, do you normally see an aggressive or a passive wrestler?
I think it's because there's a minute. You don't want to go crazy right off the bat, so you try to work your way into it a little bit. Try to set the man up. In other words, unbalance him and get him into an anticipated position, just like that. Now the question can be, can Meltzer finish this? He's been in a position 3 times, and he looks good here. He looks real good here, and there's your points. They'll let the wrestling go to try to get the fall. And there's Meltzer all over Kyler here, trying to pin him.
He's got 20 seconds left to get the fall. 15. Going for the fall and 6 points. He doesn't get it, but he gets the points and the decision.
What a great bout. Meltzer, 3 good leg attacks, was able to finish only 1, but it was the one that won him the match. And you got to give Kyler a lot of credit. He was game, he was composed, and he was in a position to win.
So Max Meltzer improves to 9-3 on the season. More importantly for Harvard, he picks up 3 points for the Crimson, and Harvard leads 9-6. We're coming back with another good one at 149. 4-time New York State champion J.P. O'Connor returns to New York to take on Army.
Who are the beasts in the Big East? The ferocious Notre Dame offense is looking to solidify their conference standing. But the Orange have a little growl on them too. Big East College Basketball, Tuesday at 7, only on ESPNU.
Oh, that's funny. The water doesn't work. Neither does the ice dispenser.
Point taken.
Need a new appliance? The Home Depot can help you update like never before. Get innovative energy-saving appliances from top brands like GE, Maytag, and LG. Plus, get 10% off your Energy Star appliance.
The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Sweet ride. Yeah, that was amazing. Let's do it.
Since you can get rewards with thank you points from your Citi credit card and for your everyday banking at Citibank, it's easier to get the rewards you want. Call 888-511-CITI.
Honey, I think I found the problem.
Want an easy way to keep your engine clean? Use Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. They meet the tough standards to help keep your engine running its best. Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines.
You almost nailed it. Good. Thank you. You want me to call someone? No, dude. I'm just trying to regroup here. Just give me a minute.
Welcome back to West Point as Harvard leads Army 9-6, and Oxford, New York is about 3 hours away from West Point. But the Oxford wrestling team had a match this weekend, had a tournament nearby Minisink Valley, so they spent the night to be here on Sunday to check out former Oxford star J.P. O'Connor. He's up next on the mat for Harvard at 149, and he has had a great freshman season, Jeff, as he gets ready to take on Army co-captain Frank Ball.
Hey, he's ranked number 6 or 8 in the country right now, 6, and he is well-rounded. He's got a ton of experience. He's one of the highest recruited athletes in the country as a 4-time New York State champion. I watched him out at Fargo at the Junior Nationals. His coach was Scotty Green. He is now running the club out of that Oxford area. And what a tremendous program that Shamrock Club has produced in terms of high school wrestlers training in the off-season and winning 4 New York State championships.
How emotional this must be for the young freshman to come back to his home state and have his former high school teammates on hand to watch.
I spoke at the Oxford High School Wrestling Banquet last year and got to meet JP for the first time as well as the rest of the team. But what a work ethic he has. And he scores first. You might wonder, hey, that doesn't look like control, but that right leg of O'Connor's, even though it's in what we call backwards, it's in the other side, the other way, it still counts. And he goes right to a tilt, but no points.
O'Connor made a name for himself at the collegiate level at the Cliff Keaton Las Vegas Invitational by beating 3 ranked opponents to make it to the finals. But Coach Weiss says he's more upset about losing in the finals, running out of time against Josh Chirillo of Michigan.
And Chirillo, a good one. I competed with the father, Mark Chirillo, who's a 3-time NCAA champion, and what a tremendous athlete he was. Outstanding wrestler, junior world champion. But JP is writing history here. He is a young buck that Jay Weiss is just drooling over because he has got a world of potential. And he's got Jesse Jansen, Harvard's assistant coach, NCAA champion in 05, as a training partner.
And Coach Weiss says that he reminds him of Jansen, another 4-time New York State champion.
And this is how Jansen made his living. You see JP almost on his own back, hitting himself, but it makes that top man and what he's riding give him back exposure and points.
More points for O'Connor as he now leads 4-0, and he's also over a minute in the riding time advantage. So if he holds on to that when the match is over, he'll get an extra point. Speaking of Jesse Jansen, his brother Corey Jansen will be joining the Crimson next year after he wraps up his high school career on Long Island wrestling for his dad.
Frank Barr had an escape, but JP right back in with a fireman's carry here. He was given the takedown. Here's the back points.
Yep, gets 2 more points, so he now leads 6-1 with under a minute to go in the first period.
First time I saw
3 more points. It's now 9-1.
9-1. I saw JP at the New York States last year because we had a kid at the States, and JP handled him very, very easily.
So now with an 8-point advantage, he's going for a major decision. Obviously going for the fall. But
yeah, JP's the kind of guy that's always looking for the fall. If he feels that he can score on you, he's not satisfied until he does. And here the crab ride. This is where Jesse and so much of today's youth wrestling likes to operate. In fact, they all named it after Jansen. You do the Jansen ride, the half, crab ride, try to pull him over onto his backside, and as you roll there, if you're good with the crab ride, you can come up on top with back exposure points.
So O'Connor grabs control right away, and you know you're good when they name a move after you.
There you go. That's right. Exactly it. You go to different regions of the country, that's exactly how moves are named, after the person that made them famous.
So O'Connor now in position for the major decision victory. 1/3 of his 21 wins have been of the major decision variety. So he has been picking up some serious points for the Crimson in his freshman season.
He's a class act on top of it. You know, he's not full of himself. Eager to learn even when he's so successful. And here you just see the relentlessness of him constantly coming up. And there the balance and the power where Bond was just not able to rip him back down to the ground to continue to ride him. Now it's J.P. O'Connor's turn again on top.
He gets 2 more points for the reversal, up by 10.
He's got a bar arm here. There's a pinning combination. If he can get that far wrist, Bond's right arm, if he can lock that one-on-one up right there, he's got his fingertips on it.
Drive forward first. Drive forward.
All about leverage and position here, and Bond doing a nice job stopping the bar arm, and the referee didn't like the way that bar is twisted. Potentially dangerous. They'll restart.
So O'Connor has a riding time advantage of 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So if he doesn't get the fall, the major decision seems to be in the bag here in the middle of the second period.
Now he's only 5 points away from a tech fall as well, and that's very possible. A lot of time left, minute 6 in the second period. There's that crab ride. Ankles inside the opponent's leg, hip on hip. Tremendous pressure. It's almost like we used to call it the cellophane ride, because it clings, and it clings, and it seems like you can get out, but you don't.
You need a glossary to learn how to wrestle here with all these terms you're giving us.
Well, it's just the way different people describe it. Leverage. Styles of wrestling, as we call it. And sometimes styles don't line up, even though records indicate one should be better than the other. It's just whether you're educated in that particular style of wrestling.
Less than 20 seconds to go in the second period. All J.P. O'Connor in this one, the 6th-ranked 149-pound wrestler, showing why here against Frankie Vaughan of Army.
And he's got legs in. You can see his body is prone. It's straightened out. That's what we call arching. And that forces all the pressure down on Vaughan's back. And it's very difficult to move there, and much less alone keep your arms in, keep from being turned. That was head coach Army's head coach Chuck Barbie indicating you want the neutral position to start the third, and that's what Vaughn has done. Jay Weiss there, the Harvard coach.
So now if you're Vaughn here, do you go try to win this match, or you're just trying to avoid a major decision or a tech fall?
Now, for your team, you don't want to give up any more points. But if you're trying to win the match, you're going to look for an upper body throw, because you need massive points or a pin. And that's really what hole Vaughn is in right now. Down 13-1 after that takedown. And J.P. O'Connor is not going to relax. He is going to keep coming after you. In fact, if he can get one more turn here and make it a three-pointer, well, he's cut him. Looks like he feels he can get the takedowns quicker than the back points. It's also easier for a wrestler. Oh, a nice inside trip attempt by Bond, but JP able to wiggle out of it, but he still has a shot at the single, and it's deep. Let's see if he can finish this.
1 minute left in the third.
Bond should keep circling like he's doing. Circle away. And now JP O'Connor's tying up the leg, and look at that. Power, balance, composure, didn't panic, able to pull that takedown out.
So now he is up 15-2, and he's going to get the riding advantage. So basically he is up 16-2, getting closer and closer to that technical fall. That should mean 5 points for him.
If he had one more takedown, he'd get the technical fall. I'm surprised Jay doesn't say cut him and go for that, but there it is. There it is.
So 24 seconds left.
See if he can get it. Takedown gives him a tech fall, and you hear him, Coach Weiss screaming, you only got 20 seconds.
15. Frankie Vaughan trying to hold on.
Tried the fireman's, changes off to the single.
4 seconds.
Can he finish? No, and he runs out of time. Good job by Bond there to stop it from being a technical fall. Saves the team a point.
Still an impressive showing by J.P. O'Connor as the freshman returns to his home state and improves to 22-4 with his 8th major decision victory for the Crimson. And Harvard now leads it 13-6 as the Crimson try to pick up its first dual meet win of the season. We're coming back with 157. This is wrestling on ESPNU.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
ESPNU brings you college sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The passion, the anticipation, the excitement.
Wide open touchdown.
Every season.
This is for 3. Count it.
Every reason to watch. Every sport all year round. Tomorrow night at 6, the ESPNU Bracket Buster Selection Show. Then at 9, Mississippi Valley State takes on Grambling State, followed by Pepperdine and Santa Clara. ESPNU, always in season.
This season, college basketball's coming right at you with ESPN Full Court from DirecTV.
He puts it up. It's good.
It's buzzer beaters, upsets, and epic battles all season long.
Unbelievable.
The top teams, the top conferences. And you can still get up to 30 games a week for just $75. ESPN Full Court from DirecTV. To get yours, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
If you like working with people and want to be part of an award-winning team in an exciting industry, we may have a place for you. DirecTV's Home Services Network is expanding to keep up with our dramatic growth nationwide. There are openings for system installers, customer service representatives, dispatchers, warehouse workers, and more. Apply online at DirecTV.com. Click About DirecTV, then click Careers. Select the option for the recruitment commercial and simply fill out the form. Don't wait. Apply online today.
Trust me, it is Harvard wrestling against Army here today, but it's always Navy on the minds of the cadets when you're at West Point. Harvard leads 13-6, and Jay Weiss was really hoping to have a stud going for him today at 157, Andrew Flanagan. But that's life at Harvard as he's back in Cambridge working on school.
Right, 10 minutes before the bus left for their match against Lehigh last night, it came to light that Flanagan would have to stay due to academic responsibilities. He had to finish a paper, so he is not in the lineup.
So instead, Bobby Latessa goes. Bobby has a winning record of 9-6. He was beaten last night at Lehigh. He was pinned in the second period. And he is going up against Christian Snook for Army.
And they're underway. The book on Snook. Tall, lanky, got a lot of range, a lot of reach. He's a strong counter wrestler, so he may take a shot, but he prefers when somebody comes in on him. He's got great hips, in other words, able to bring him down, shut the window on a shot. And he's able to put people on his back, and that's why Coach Barbie likes him in the lineup. He can get big points for his team. Latessa backup. Looking to do his part to aid the team.
He has seen plenty of action, though, this year because Flanagan wasn't exactly healthy at the beginning of the year. So he placed 4th at the Eastern Stroudsburg Open, and he competed at the Cliff Key in Las Vegas.
Shot attempt by Latessa, countered out by Snook. Still in the clinch, they break.
Now, if you're Snook, do you feel extra pressure with your team down 7?
You know, it's funny. When you get to college, it tends to be more of an individual game. Yes, you want your team to win, but the main thing is you got to win your match, period. And you don't want to throw away a win going for too much, being greedy, looking for a pin. So it's almost accepted in college that it's about winning. Number one thing is about winning. Take care of yourself and you help the team. But we have seen also where people have tried to bite off a little bit more and given away a win, trying to get a pin. And that is why I think now the culture is mainly you win, and that's how you help the team. Boy, a lot of action on that side of the mat, literally almost on the field house floor. And again, it's that new rule allowing the out of bounds really to go 4 feet farther, because if 1 foot's in bounds, they'll let the action continue. Latessa tried to use that left underhook under the arm of Snook, try to whip him by, but Snook would have none of that. That shot attempt missing. That's why you need a setup. If you can fool the man or unbalance him, you can start that shot before he has a chance to react. And that's that little extra that gets you into the leg so you have a shot at finishing it.
15 seconds left in the first period, still no score.
Lots of attempts at legs here, but neither able to get to the others.
10 seconds. So the first period, plenty of attempts, but more of a feeling out process as neither wrestler was able to get on the scoreboard. So we move to the second, still tied at 0.
Coach Barbie, when I talked with him, said one of the keys to Snook's success is he's got to get off bottom, period. If he doesn't get off bottom, he's going to have a hard time. There you see the Jansen ride again, the influence of Jesse Jansen at Harvard. All these guys trying the crab ride. Snook did a nice job of, there's the count by the referee, but it's only a 1 count. Oh, and look at that over the top. And Snook now able to get the reversal.
And gets 2 points and is in control now.
It did look like he was about to put Latessa on his back, and then Latessa pulled himself out from the bottom back to on top, but not on balance. Snook doing a nice job of staying with it. And now Latessa with an opportunity. And he gets out.
He picks up the point for the escape.
But it
get on the board.
It almost looked like he was going to put Snook on his back. This is an exciting match. Evenly matched wrestlers.
Push through this. Let's go.
This is the 157-pound weight class as Harvard leads Army 13-6.
They're still feeling each other out. They're not really snapping on each other's head, jamming and pushing. Pretending to lean on each other. It's slowed down a little bit now.
10 seconds left in the period.
It was a furious pace for a little while there.
Jeff, you mentioned the furious pace. Let's go back to the reversal, which gave Snook the lead.
And right here it was Latessa trying to put Snook on his back, and then Snook coming up right here looking like he is going to score, and he gets it right there for a reversal. You just need to get behind him, and there a nice pop and drop to return him to the mat.
Harvard has won 3 straight weight classes. Christian Snook trying to stop the bleeding and get some points for the cadets.
And that goes out of bounds. They'll start again. And this is where Snook has an opportunity. He's good at putting people on his back. Latessa able to get to his feet right away. He couldn't stop the stand-up. He got up and a nice shot by Latessa.
So Latessa picks up a point to tie up the match at 2. And it's 2 more for the takedown, so he leads 4-2.
And the referee got a 2 count in for back points.
Sorry, just like that, he leads 6-2.
I didn't know if Snook knew he was taken down. Sometimes when you're fighting down there, you don't know the referee gave 2. You keep fighting, and you're actually in danger. But you can't get back points until you have the takedown. Jansen right again there.
Bobby Latessa less than a minute away from his 10th win of the season.
Heavy half, pivoting around. Snook doing a nice job of keeping away from his back.
Seconds, right hard.
Yeah, I would be peeling the hand off my neck, get the danger away, and then I can move more freely without that worry that I'm going to end up on my back. And there he's able to get out.
So Snook picks up a point and has 20 seconds left to try to get back in this match and pick up some points for Army.
You want to control the time, control your opponent's hands. On the feet it helps because he can't shoot on you if he doesn't have hands, and on the bottom especially to get out. If his hands are tied up, he can't hold you down. And look at Snook, he's really putting some offense, and he gets a stall call against Latessa.
So Latessa picks up the win. Harvard has won 4 straight weight classes as they are in control of this one, 16-6. Coming up next at 165 pounds, it'll be Brian Rowan against Frankie Coletta. The Crimson in control, up by 10. We'll be back with more wrestling on ESPNU.
You've seen them march. You've seen them dance. Now see them.
Hey, can I join one of your twosomes there?
Samuel L. Jackson, Bob Saget, Louis Black, Tracy Morgan, and 50 more comedy stars.
Naughty, naughty girl.
Farce of the Penguins. Rated R. Available everywhere January 30th on DVD.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice days, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Anything can happen in the world of animation. Just watch how this toy is brought to life. Learn to animate, and you could make money through movies and video games, or even help create cartoons for TV. Careers in animation are hot and in demand. All you need to get started is the right training and a little imagination.
Train online, 800-658-0038. Call now.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
This is wrestling on ESPNU, and ever since the 125-pound weight class, it's been all Harvard against Army. Robbie Preston came up with the pin at 133. Then the senior captain, Max Meltzer, held on against the freshman, Matt Kyler, for the decision at 141. J.P. O'Connor, the freshman, continued his fine season at 149 with a major decision win. And then at 157, it was Bobby Latessa getting the decision as the Harvard Crimson lead 16-6. Harvard on the road against Army, up by 10. And now we get set for 165. Frankie Coletta of Harvard going up against Brian Rowan, the sophomore in. Coach Barbie didn't pull any punches. This is a must-win for Army.
Yeah, and he's actually a 149-pounder who's moved up to 165, and he was having a real hard time making 49. He couldn't break in at 57, so they moved him up. He's a scrambler, and when do you see the counters to leg shots he likes to do? It's nicknamed scrambled legs by a guy that I knew made it famous, Mitch Clark, a national champ out of Ohio State. If it comes to that, we'll describe it to you when it happens.
Coach Barbie said because of the bump up in weight, the first period key for Brian Rowan in this one.
Both of these guys are more basic in their styles, not super flashy. There's a straightforward single leg by Coletta. Counted out nicely by Rowan, but he's back in again. This time he's much deeper. He's got a shot at scoring here. Trying to run the pipe, changed off to a double, nice job. Got a 1 count for the back exposure, but that was it.
So Frankie Coletta breaks through first, picking up 2 points for Harvard there.
got cross wrist control. You see Rowan's left arm trapped under his body there. The wrist is grabbed by Coletta's right hand. That's cross wrist. See if he can use that. Try to turn him. Cheap single or cheap tilt there, and he's able to get it. Still got the hold, so the referee is not putting the points up because Rowan is still in danger. There, still has it. Now he'll put it up.
Now 4-0 lead for Frankie Coletta, and he is now over a minute in the riding and time advantage.
There's nothing cheap about a tilt. It's worth points, but what a lot of people say is you can't ever pin a guy with that. And that's why we got that name, cheap tilt. But it's just a tilt, able to hold the man there just for a couple seconds.
So there's our riding time at the bottom of your screen. If he holds on to that advantage for more than a minute at the end of the match, he gets an extra point, which could make it a major decision. 31 seconds left in the first period. Coletta leads 4-1.
And off to a good start there. You know, I've got to be a lot of confidence, able to take him down, put him on his back. And now let's see what Rowan can do to respond. He now has to set the pace if he's going to catch up. It'd be nice if we could get a takedown in this short time here in the first period, but probably not going to happen.
Saw him just glance over at the clock to see how much time left he had to go for that takedown. And he runs out of time here. And Frankie Coletta in high school made a name for himself on the gridiron. I mean, he rewrote the record book at Delaware Valley High School in Pennsylvania. 7 touchdowns in a game, 350 yards in a game.
Wow.
So on and so on. 22 touchdowns in a season. But when he got to Cambridge, he decided his true passion was wrestling. And he's been a pleasant surprise for Coach Jay Weiss.
Coach Weiss, I'm sure, is pretty happy right now with a 4-1 lead. His wrestler's on his feet, and he gets an escape.
Coach Weiss is also pumped up about his future because he can only imagine how good he can get when he's now solely concentrating on wrestling.
And with Coach Jansen and Coach Kelly, Jameel Kelly, the silver medalist from 2004 Olympics in the room, Jansen looking to make the 2008 team. You've got quality people, not only to teach you, but to actually spar with you. Get a coach yelling high, low, meaning change levels, change levels.
1 minute left in the second period.
These two are very calculated now. Squaring off, not a lot of motion.
A win in this weight class would be huge for Harvard as they try to break through and get their first dual meet win of the season.
Nope.
30 seconds remaining.
Coletta, I can understand not wanting to be too offensive. He's got the lead. Let's see what Rowan was going to do would be my thought, that what Coletta's thinking, but Rowan needs to takedown. He doesn't want to make it a 4-point deficit going into the 2-minute third period.
10 seconds left in the second.
Here's an opportunity. He likes the front headlock, and that's that position, but he runs out of time.
So it will be a 4-point lead for Coletta heading into the third and final period. And what's your mindset here for each wrestler going into the third?
Well, for Rowan, I would do what he did. Choose down, because now if I get an escape, that's 1 point less I'm going to need to make up. Obviously, if I'm Coletta, I'm going to want to keep him down, and at worst, give up one. In other words, cut him, give an escape. Don't get reversed on the mat where now I'm under and possibly get turned. Coletta out over the top. Sometimes we call this, you're getting a little bit high on his back there. What we call a high ride, you can be shaken off. But that's exactly the way the Jansen ride works. So he's not at all uncomfortable about being up there. So this is getting dangerous. And exactly what I said he didn't want to do, he did. He gave up 2, not 1.
And now it's all tied as he gets 2 more points.
5-3.
5-3.
Yep.
Thought he did it again, so we're 5-3.
And
Coletta's hanging on to the riding time. He's trying to work into that time. Rowan is. He's cutting it down.
Coletta did a quick look and did the math. He can erase riding time with another basically 23 seconds. Well, he didn't do it. Cut him. So Coletta will maintain riding time. But if I'm Rowan right now, I need a 4 or 5 point movement. Take down directly to your opponent's back. His front headlock position where he catches Coletta's head underneath him, maybe with an underhook, and give him that kind of opportunity. It's called a cement mixer. But Coletta will have none of it. In on a nice clean shot, finishes with a strong double leg. And that's icing on the cake right there. That's going to be almost impossible for Coletta to come back, excuse me, for Rowan to come back from. Great job by Coletta. It's best to end the match with offense, not trying to hang on with defense.
He picked up a victory for Harvard last night against Lehigh, and he will do the same here against Army. Harvard will add to its lead, 3 seconds away from the decision for Coletta, and there it is.
He's a freshman. We're going to see him.
A pleasant surprise for Jay Weiss. He has been on the season, and a surprise victory in this match for Frankie Coletta. Frankie Coletta as Harvard builds to its lead and now leads 19-6. The Crimson in control. They have not lost since the first match of the meet. And coming up next, it'll be 174 pounds. Harvard leads 19-6. The freshman, Frankie Coletta, coming up with the decision. Stick with us here. It's wrestling on ESPNU.
Honey, I think I found the problem.
Want an easy way to keep your engine clean? Use Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. They meet the tough standards to help keep your engine running its best. Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines.
Tuesday on ESPNU. Who are the beasts in the Big East? 21st ranked Notre Dame brings their ferocious offense to Syracuse to help decide. Led by Russell Carter, the Fighting Irish look to solidify their conference standing.
This should be good. Wow.
But the Orange, with Demetrius Nichols, are glaring right back at them.
Nichols, a tough pull-up jumper.
Big East College Basketball, Tuesday at 7, only on ESPNU.
Hey, these guys joined my team and lost weight.
Mike Golick, 51 pounds. Sean Salisbury, 35 pounds. Scott Conover, 100 pounds.
Hey, Marino, I lost 32 pounds.
Get real results with Nutrisystem for Men.
You know, my wife told me I'm not as disgusting to her as I used to be.
Call or go online now to get 4 weeks of awesome food. Plus, through this special offer, you'll also get an extra week of hearty meals free.
Burgers, pizzas, lasagna, pot roast.
Eat like a man and still lose weight.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad. Now carbs are no longer off limits.
Nutrisystem worked for me. Trust me, it'll work for you.
About $10 a day gets you 4 full weeks of rib-sticking meals.
Pick up the phone and lose weight.
Order our 4-week men's program and get an extra 7 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts. A full week of food and a $70 value absolutely free. So call now.
This is historic Gillis Fieldhouse, where Bobby Knight once coached a young Mike Krzyzewski and where Mike Krzyzewski once coached the cadets of West Point. But we're not talking hoops now, we're talking wrestling. And right now, the visitors from Cambridge are ruining the party for the cadets as Harvard is in command, leading this match 19-6. They have won every match since the first one, and now we move to 174 pounds. Fred Rousey against Brent Smith. Rousey for Harvard, Smith for Army. Smith was beaten off the team earlier in the year, but he won the spot back at Christmas time, and he's been squeaking out bonus points ever since.
And that's what a coach likes to see. You're not happy with just winning. You like to sort of extend that lead a little bit and dominates.
Actually, the change of plans there. It's Zemanek going in for Harvard. He wrestled last night against Lehigh, so Jay Weiss will stick with him.
And he is a sophomore. Doesn't have a lot of experience. Rousey's out with a staph infection. That is why he is not in here. He had a blemish, and it turned out to be something that you're not allowed to wrestle with because it could be contagious, but he's doing fine.
Release that shoulder. Release that shoulder.
Smith comes up with the 2 points there.
And Smith is good on top. Look for him for cross-face cradle, and he likes to put legs in. Thus far, no legs, but there's the cradle. Doesn't quite get his hands locked. Anytime you can get the head and the knee of your opponent together in a locked loop, that is called a cradle. It can be both inside or outside.
Smith is second on Army's team with total wins with 22, and he's coming off his 10th fall of the season as Army won impressively against Sacred Heart on Thursday.
Coach Barbie told me that if he can get on top twice, get one takedown and then choice to be on top, that he feels that Smith might be able to put his opponent away. And you see the right leg in, controlling the left ankle of his opponent, and looking to try to hook that arm, put him on his back. See if he can pull it in. Not enough leverage to pull it in. Good job by Zimnik to keep that arm out. Oh, there's a power half, and he's caught. He should score here. Oh, and he's not able to. A good job by Zimnik. I thought for sure, because it looked so tight that he would get points there, but did not meet criteria for back points, that 45-degree angle to the mat. There it is again, and there he's got it even tighter. It's worth 3 now. Points will not be awarded to the hold that is released. And now you see him working up over the top. This is what you want to do to get the fall, but unable to keep the half.
So he gets the 3 points to grab a 5-0 lead with 20 seconds left to go in the first.
And here's an outside cradle. Coach Barbie knows his wrestling as well.
10 seconds left as he goes for the fall.
Army looking to get back in it with a pin. Smith trying hard, running out of time, and period ends.
So Patrick Zimnik stays alive in this match at 174 pounds, but he's dug himself a huge hole as it's 8-0. Brent Smith leads.
Coach Barbie telling him to choose top. Textbook game plan, and it's working. Smith will get another crack at trying to turn Zimnik. Zimnik is sophomore, Smith is senior. And the senior showing his experience. Going back to the leg ride. He'll go back to that power half Nelson now. And it's an awful feeling to have your head pushed under in pride like this. And he's got back points again. And he knows his limitations. I like that. He didn't try to come over the top, get out of position, going for the fall. He maintains control. And technical fall is certainly in the realm of possibilities now. He's only 4 points away from it.
Plus the riding time. All Smith in this one.
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes. So basically a 12-0 lead at this point.
Still working hard on top here. Zimnik needs to get out of the bottom. He needs to remove the danger here, and he's just having a hard time getting away from this lanky senior.
No, Pat, no, Patrick. Hey, post that other leg. Post that other knee.
30 seconds.
And he is trying to crank him again.
20 seconds left in the period. Brent Smith in command, but looking for the fall to pick up the 6 points for the Cadets.
He's trying to hip over and drag the face with him. Nearly got it to 90 degrees there. But Zimnick doing a nice job of countering. Have to do it.
So 2 minutes left for Brent Smith to try to pick up the fall and the 6 points for Army. And that would put the Cadets right back in this one. Harvard with a 19-6 lead. But Army can get right back in it with the fall or the technical fall in this match.
And Army could desperately use this match because when you think about it, with Ogulole out at heavyweight for Harvard and their backup having never wrestled, you would feel that would be advantage Army. So if they can get within 6 for that last match, they got a shot of winning.
If you missed us at the beginning, the big news for Harvard, Bode Ogule, the #2 ranked heavyweight in the country, undefeated in the senior season, was hurt last night, suffered a tricep injury against Lehigh. He stopped that match and he is not suited up today. So a big blow for the Crimson.
Yeah, #2 ranked in the country comes down with an injury late in the season. That probably has Jay Weiss sipping some Pepto-Bismol. There he is right there.
Not in the uniform Jay Weiss would like to see him in.
And he's going to be going to medical school as well.
Very bright young man. Jay Weiss was telling him last year. Took a full course load at Harvard, an MCAT course to prepare for the test, and an extra course at a downtown hospital, all while wrestling at the highest level in the country.
And Smith in again, scores again. 13-0 now. The Cadets have a real shot here, getting back in the match. Oh, he tried a lazy trip. And Zimnick able to come up and get behind him. That's an automatic reversal.
Gets 2 points. And 1 point escape for Smith. So it's 14-2. Basically make it 15-2 with the riding point. So they have to pick up 2 more points.
If he can just get a takedown in the last 26 seconds, he'll get the technical fall. Army could really use this.
He's got 20 seconds left to do it.
I just think he got the takedown and he thought he had the technical fall and he got a little lazy with the trip, and Zimnick did what his team needed, and that was to get the reversal or to eliminate the shot of the technical fall. Can Smith get it done here? Zimnick's going to be able to hold on.
So Smith wrestles impressively, has to settle though for the major decision, and 4 points as he wins it 14-2 to move Army within 9 points of Harvard. So Army stops Harvard's streak and gets back in the match. It's 19-10 Crimson. Coming up, a good one at 184. Scott Ferguson for Army against Louis Caputo for Harvard. Stay with us here on ESPNU.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Don't forget about us, TV.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
I couldn't believe how much I was paying for health insurance before. But Mega specializes in affordable health insurance for families and for people like me who don't get health insurance where we work.
Stop struggling to figure out how you can get affordable health insurance. If you're one of 45 million Americans without it, call the number on your screen right now to get affordable health insurance with the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company.
I was struggling to find affordable health insurance for my family. What appealed to me about Mega is that I could tailor a plan that fit our needs, as well as our budget.
I'm responsible for providing health insurance for my family.
I work hard, and I deserve a company that works hard for me. Mega, they save me time and money. They got the coverage I needed at the price I could afford.
Mega has been America's solution for affordable health insurance for over 20 years. To get a plan that's tailored to fit your needs, call the number on the screen right now.
Do what we did. Call today.
Welcome back to West Point. I'm Eamon McEnany, joined with Jeff Blatnick as Harvard leads Army 19-10. Sort of what we expected. Harvard jumping out to a big lead. What do they have to do to hold on, and what does Army have to do to get back in it?
Well, I think Army's in a position where they might be able to do well. Coletta, one of the ranked wrestlers for Harvard, lost at Lehigh last night. So I'm not sure if he's on top of his game. Army, if they can get a couple of pins in these last 3 matches, could pull out a tie if Harvard gets a decision in that 3rd bout. So I think Army's in a wonderful position here with Ogulole, the Harvard number 2 ranked heavyweight in the country, out at this position. Again, that gives Army a shot at Ogulole's backup, which is a guy named Knapp, never wrestled this year.
So certainly it sizes up late well for Army in the heavyweights. As we get ready for 184, Louis Caputo against Scott Ferguson. Caputo for Harvard, he's ranked, going up against Ferguson. He was the wrestler who lost last night, you heard Jeff talk about. And this is one of those huge weight classes in this match that both coaches really want to have. 2 of their better wrestlers going at it head-to-head.
Pass by here. Even if Army won 3 decisions, they could tie it. So, I mean, Army is not out of this match yet. And I really think the Ogulole injury is putting Harvard at risk. But you need to wrestle to win the bouts. And let's see exactly how this one's going to pan out. Ferguson's a junior, very powerful. He's stout. He likes the running double leg, and what Coach Barbie told me is he likes to normally we say keep your back to the center so you're never near the edge. He says he wants his wrestlers back to the edge because then when he hits the running double, he has enough room to travel across the mat without it going out of bounds. So we'll see if he can get one of those uncorked here.
Coach Barbie also said he needs to win the match on his feet. What kind of strategy is that exactly?
Well, that's all about takedowns. Who can win the takedown war? You know, and if nothing happens on the mat and each wrestler gets an escape, that means most of the match will have been spent in the standing position or on their feet. So he feels the takedown war is the key to this. Zimnick is a replacement. Rousey's normally the guy in there, but he is out with an infection. Excuse me, Caputo. Great position. Super strong, I'm sorry, I was matched before, but he likes a front headlock. Look for him to go to underhooks.
And you mentioned with the injuries that Harvard has in the last 2 weight classes, this is almost a must-win for the Crimson to pull out this dual meet victory.
It is, and he's a ranked wrestler. He'd like to get back to the winning ways. He's used to that.
14-6 on the season, but he was defeated last night by another ranked wrestler, David Craig, coming up with a 5-3 decision. Craig ranked 19th for Lehigh.
You always wonder what a loss does to someone's psyche. And let's see how he responds to that loss here. The key in almost any sport, I believe, is routine. You go about doing your normal routine that gets you ready. It's what you've normally done throughout your career. It's like the Pavlov's dogs theory. You hear the bell, you start to salivate. Well, at the same time, if you do the same warm-up every time, your body and mind knows, here comes the match, and you get ready for it. Oh, and look at that. Nice trip, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to capitalize on it. For a minute, he had a chance to maybe drop and spin, but 15 seconds. Caputo doing a nice job of hanging on there and countering out.
10 seconds left in the first, still no score.
But Ferguson with a nice maneuver nearly got him.
Neither wrestler able to break through in the first, and now 4 minutes left. Now, what happened here that he wasn't able to finish it off to get points?
Well, his right hand was tied up in a 2-on-1. There he tripped him, but Caputo able to, as he was falling, still turn to face his opponent. Then when he bounced on his hip, he was able to get to his knees. And Ferguson was unable to spin behind, but he does get the takedown there. And he draws first blood, up 2-0. No, it must have just been a return to the mat. That's all it was. It was a return to the mat. He started out on top, just put him back down.
There's an escape point for Caputo. So he breaks through and leads 1-0.
1-0 with the escape point. Ferguson started on top. They're both working at each other's head pretty hard here. A lot of hanging, a lot of pulling.
Under a minute to go in the second period.
You can see Ferguson is the stockier, more muscular of the two. Caputo being a little longer, lankier. That's the beauty of wrestling. Any body type can wrestle. You can be short and stocky or tall and lanky, and you can still find success. You just have to develop the moves that work for that body type. Well, not a lot of risk-taking here in terms of shots and attempts. And it looks as though the period's going to end with it just like this, 1-0.
There's still anyone's match as we get ready for the third. Caputo, the 11th ranked wrestler, coming off a loss at Lehigh, trying to build Harvard's lead. Crimson lead 19-10, but very unexperienced wrestlers going for Harvard in the last two weight classes, so this is a key match for the Crimson.
And Ferguson is now in the down position. He looks to try to get the escape to knot it up. That's why they have the choices at the start of the second period. You can defer, choose top, or choose bottom. The reason you want to defer is to see the situation in the third period and choose what position is best for you to try to be successful. Ferguson needs this escape.
Move out of bounds. No points awarded yet in the third and final period. Possible final period.
And Coach Barbie was saying the hand that's on his midsection. You see Caputo putting a hand on Ferguson's midsection. Coach Barbie is screaming, grab that hand on the way up during his stand-up so that he can't get his hands locked at the top.
Caution on green.
Ferguson, just a little antsy there, tried to get going a little too quickly. Got a caution. Caputo tying up the legs, then moving up the body. And he has got Ferguson flat. This is not where Ferguson wants to be.
1 minute left as Caputo tries to hold on, but still a very slim lead, obviously.
Oh, he had a shot there if he could have kept scooting, but now with the legging, Caputo has great leverage on Ferguson. He's going to try to keep him flat.
Caputo 10 seconds away from a riding time point if he can hold on to that. He's at 53 now. With 39 left to wrestle here.
He's also got a bar on.
He's at the minute riding time. If that stays that way, he basically has a 2-0 lead with 27 seconds left in the third.
And Ferguson able to get the back points, cross-facing. Ferguson over. Caputo doing a great job with those legs in. Coach Weiss got up and pumped his fist once when he saw those back points. He knew how important this match would be to a Harvard team victory.
So Caputo will get it done. The 11th ranked wrestler in the country picks up another victory, his 15th of the season. basically a 5-0 win as he finishes the match with a 1:33 advantage in riding time. And that makes it 22-10 for the Crimson. Just 2 matches left here. Army needs 2 pins to tie, down by 12. Will Harvard be able to hold on? We'll find out, so stay with us here on ESPNU.
Pizza Hut Pan Pizza gives America more to love. And no wonder it was preferred over Domino's and Papa John's almost 2-to-1 in a national taste test. Right now, get any pan pizza, any toppings for just $10. Want more taste? Get America's favorite pizza. Pizza Hut.
The extreme power of Energizer E-Squared Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Mazda 3 and Mazda 6. Zoom, zoom, zoom. They both offer loads of features. Some of them are even complimentary. And while the critics rave, you save. Right now, you can get newly announced low 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on a 2007 Mazda 3 or Mazda 6. Take a test drive at your Mazda dealer, where it all comes back to. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Floating down that river, boy, all my worries far behind. Yesterday, slowly fade, I've been waiting now for it's right.
J.J. Cale and Eric Clapton, The Road to Escondido, featuring Ride the River.
Welcome back to West Point as Harvard leads Army 22-10, and we are getting ready for the match at 197 pounds. Richard Starks will be taking the mat for West Point, and as you take a look at his singlet there on the left shoulder blade, left shoulder, TS, those are the initials of a former wrestler, Tony Severo, who was killed tragically in an accident hit by a drunk driver back on 2005 Thanksgiving weekend. He won the Most Improved Wrestler Award back in 2005, and the cadets continue to pay tribute to their former teammate with his initials on their singlet.
And they even have his singlet hanging in the wrestling room. So he is remembered and memorialized. And we have some nice battle here, and this is for the match. Army needs a fall, or Harvard will lock it up.
Billy Colgan going for Harvard. Richard Starks, the freshman out of Kentucky, for Army.
And the word on Colgan is he is a defensive wrestler. He likes to push and shove, and as we call it in the wrestling world, he's a grinder. So he'll get in there and just mash with you. Starks, on the other hand, he's got some offense. 3-time state champion out of Kentucky, great fundamentals. He's got 20-plus matches, got a good high crotch, good single leg on his feet. Let's see if he can bring these weapons to bear.
Speaking of Colgan being a grinder, Jay Weiss would love to see him grind out 7 minutes of wrestling.
And he just ground out a nice takedown.
It's a good start.
Nice high crotch, able to bring it up to his feet, sit him down.
Colgan out of New Jersey, winless on the season.
If you're really looking for a fall, Starks does have some other weapons. He's an upper body guy. He likes to throw, and Coach Bobby said he's kind of cat-like. He always seems to land on top after throws, so he's going to need it.
Picks up a point there on the escape to cut the deficit in half.
And if you're a thrower, you're never out of a match. It can happen at any time, especially late when your opponent is tired. But I were Colgan, I'd go right back to that shot that I just scored on. And there you see Starks locking his hands in a body lock around him. They were out of bounds, but maybe he's starting to think this is the avenue I need to take. Back up there again. And you can see now that Colgan is pushing away. And a throw attempt, but they go out. No points. And I think we're going to start to see a little bit more of that now. Colgan didn't seem to be bothered by going upstairs with the Harvard wrestler. Starks needs it for the team. Colgan needs it for the team as well, but not a pin. Just don't get pinned. And if he can pull out a victory, that's icing on the cake, and he leads 2-1.
What's his mindset? Is his mindset, let's get the win, or is his mindset, don't get pinned?
No, the mindset is, I want to get the win, but you always have in the back of your mind, stay away from your back. Stay away from your back. Don't take unnecessary risk. And being a defensive wrestler, you don't take risks. So for Jay Weiss, this was the smart move. And I like how he's holding near the out of bounds. There's the trip. And that's going to count. There won't be back points because he's so far out of bounds, but he does get 2.
So Billy Colgan gets the takedown, 2 points. He now leads 4-1 with just 3 seconds left to go in the first period.
Well, it's awful hard to throw somebody that's not pushing into you. And if you really want to get a good throw, you need a little bit of momentum to help you. And if you're defensive-minded, you really don't push into your opponent too much. You maintain balance. As Coach Weiss described him, he's a grinder. So he'll just sit there and trade grinding forehead to forehead, grab hands, tie up the neck. Try to minimize motion. You got to wonder, Starks is just 18 years old, freshman. An awful lot of pressure on you in this situation.
When does he start taking risks to go for the fall? I mean, obviously that's his goal to get that. When do you start taking those risks?
I think he kind of took one over on the out of bounds there. He tried a throw that, even if he got it, would have landed out of bounds, but he got caught in the 1 foot of Starks was able to, or Colgan was able to stay in bounds, and he scored the takedown. But he doesn't have to get desperate. Lots of time left. We're only 30 seconds into the second period. I'd cut him. If I can't turn him, I'd cut him and go for that throw.
Now, for those new to wrestling, when you say cut him, you mean let him go?
Let him go.
Get the point.
Right, I purposely give up a point looking for more, either a takedown or in Army's case, they want a pin. But I just saw Coach Barbie saying pop and drop, meaning if Colgan gets to his feet, get him back down on the mat. So I think Coach Barbie is sticking to that collegiate mentality of just win, baby. That's what we want you to do.
1 minute left to go in the second. Billy Colgan of Harvard with a 4-1 lead.
There's a mini pop and drop. He didn't quite get him up in the air, but it was effective. He maintains top position. You see Colgan able to maintain base, even though you see Starks digging and driving. Can't get him off his base. It's hard to close the gap when you can't score. And with a 4-1 lead, Colgan doesn't have to do too much there.
15 seconds remaining.
Billy Colgan trying to seal the deal for Harvard. He has a 4-1 lead, 10 seconds left to go in the second period. It appears like he will take that lead into the third and final period as Harvard leads 22-10 in the match.
And Starks will choose down. Colgan cuts Starks. Takedown will not the score, so this match is definitely not in hand. And this is where I would think Starks will start to open it up a little bit more. Colgan doing a nice job, giving very little room to move. Takedown attempt. And Stark answers with a wizard counter, and he's able to avoid a takedown. Good action there. That's the thing about a grinder. You never know when they're going to explode out of that defensive mode into power. And Colgan looked really good right there, just ran out of room. Oh, here's an upper body chance. And Starks scores. Tie match.
Tied match, and Starks has the riding time advantage of over a minute and a half. So that could play a huge role in this one, as you see in the bottom of your screen. A minute 36-second riding time advantage for Richard Starks.
And Barbie's saying if he stands up, get him back down to the mat, which means he's going to try to ride him out for that riding point to be the margin of victory. And Starks is motivated right now. You see him jamming Colgan down. And Colgan's looking for a fresh start, crawling towards the out of bounds. Coach Barbie of Army's yelling he's fleeing the mat, which is a legitimate concern. You're not supposed to intentionally go out of bounds.
Coach Barbie jumped out of his seat, almost on the mat. He's certainly not fleeing the mat in this match. He's almost on it.
31 seconds stands between Starks and victory here, but he needs to keep Colgan down. And the thing you worry about is Colgan getting away in the last 10 seconds. You got no time to respond.
19 seconds left as they go out of bounds. It's tied at 4, but it's basically a 5-4 lead with Richard Starks with the riding time advantage. 19 seconds left for Billy Colgan to get an escape, and the crowd is into this one now.
They realize what's at stake here.
Now it's Coach Jay Weiss out of his chair.
Well, if he doesn't get pinned, Harvard wins the match anyway, and it doesn't look like Colgan's going to get pinned with just 12 seconds left. The key is can start to keep him down for Army's third win of this match. Pop and drop, that's beautiful. That'll seal the deal. And that's going to give him the riding time.
There it goes. So Richard Starks picks up the victory, 5-4, courtesy of riding time. 2 minutes and 26 seconds was the riding time advantage, so that's worth a point. So that's the difference in the victory for Richard Starks, and he moves his team 3 points closer to Harvard. Harvard still leads 22-18. We got one weight class left to go. Harvard moving closer to its first dual meet win of the season. Richard Starks, though, coming up with the W for the cadets at 197. It's wrestling on ESPNU.
We've all seen them. The makeup artist. The dedicated investor. Mr. Change Your Pants while driving. Multitasking doubles your risk of an accident. Do it a little less, and now Allstate will give you a bonus. Cash off your renewal bill for every 6 months you don't have an accident. Part of Your Choice Auto, only from Allstate. It's time to make the world a better place to drive. That's Allstate stands. Are you in good hands?
V-dub here in full effect with Trey. And it's right. What time is it?
I don't know.
Time to unpimp the auto. Oh, snap. German engineering in the house.
The Volkswagen GTI. 2007 Automobile of the Year.
Honey, I think I found the problem.
Want an easy way to keep your engine clean? Use Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. They meet the tough standards to help keep your engine running its best. Conoco, Phillips 66 and 76 Quality Pro Clean gasolines. Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Welcome back to West Point as Harvard is in control of this match with a 22-13 lead against Army as we move to the heavyweights. This was supposed to be a national stage for Bode Ogulale of Harvard. He's the number 2 ranked heavyweight, but he injured his tricep last night against Lehigh, so he's not going to be able to go. So Andrew Knapp takes the mat against Nathan Tababin. And this is not Tababin's first performance here today. Before the match got started, he sang the national anthem for us here at Gillis Fieldhouse. So talented on and off the mat, and of course obviously in the classroom as well here at West Point, a Russian major.
Now, Tababin recently broke into the lineup. He beat an EIWA place finisher to get there. His best position seems to be on top. He's got a great cross-face cradle, good power half with legs in. Knapp, this is his first time out there. He's trial by fire. Ogulale was Harvard's heavyweight, but he is now out. And both these guys are pressure-free. You know, the match Harvard has in hand now with a 9-point lead. There's no way Army can catch up. But a pin by Army will make it look close. It would be a split of 6 matches for Harvard, 4 for Army.
Tababin looking to pick up his 10th win of the season to 2 losses. He just lost at Sacred Heart to a guy you know pretty well, Jeff.
But he had him on the ropes. Supposedly he was coming back at the end of the match, could have won it.
Zarenpour, the 16th ranked heavyweight. Tababin lost 8-7 running out of time, and that's really how it's going to be for him this season in the heavyweight weight bracket. You know, he thought he was going to face the number 2 wrestler today, and he's always going up against ranked guys, it seems.
Some pretty good heavyweights here in the East, particularly in the EIWA as ranked wrestlers. So heavyweight well represented, and I sure hope Ogulale's medical problem is not serious and that he's going to be able to be healthy for postseason competition. He was an All-American last year. What a foot sweep. Sounded like chopping a tree down, and down went Knapp. So Tababin now able to work on top. Let's see if he'll throw the legs in, go for the crossface and the power half combo. Here comes the leg. And there's reaching for the power half. Big, strong body. There's the half Nelson. No leg in, though. Won't be able to get the leverage yet.
So there you see all 3 key factors of the race. Up top is the riding time, so that's an advantage of 40 seconds now for Tababin. There's your score, 2-0 Tababin. And then the time left in the period, 25 seconds left to go.
First period.
First period, yes.
Harvard heavyweight trying desperately here to lock up a pinning combination. And he might get a tilt out of this now, and he will. There's a 2 count.
So the period comes to an end. Tababin picks up 3 points for the near fall there to lead 5-0 going into the second period.
I admire how both the athletes are looking at their coaches for instruction here. Wish some of my high school wrestlers would take a peek at that because they'd like to make their own decisions at times. Tababin doing a nice job of flattening out Knapp. This is where you don't want to be on bottom, is laid out on your belly. You're vulnerable. Leg in again. You hear people screaming, power half, power half. Flattens him out yet again. Let's see if he can get some leverage going here. He's trying to hip over. He'll pull the cross face towards him. And he's going to score again. He's got his points. Let's see if he adjusts. And he does. He's going to try to reach under, get the elbow. If he does, he can get a corkscrew, wind it around the head. But not be able to free his arm.
So 3 more points for Nathan Tababin. 8-0. He leads with under a minute to go in the second period.
He's going for a tilt. He got a 2 count. It's worth 2. Still has that cross wrist, so they're not going to award the points until jeopardy's broken and the danger's gone. There it is.
He picks up 2 more points to lead 10-0.
It's now a major decision. I think he's got plenty of time left, David.
A major decision would mean 4 more points for Army, but Harvard's in control of this one with a 9-point lead. 22-13, the Crimson trying to pick up its first dual meet win of the season. Not trying to, they have it in the bag, so it's academic at this point.
And a lot of that just due to not a full lineup. Heck, their midterms are after the break. Injuries now are going to keep them from having a full lineup. Snake bitten is the Harvard wrestling team.
You talk to Coach Weiss, I've been mentioning it over and over, their first dual meet win, but he says, we're not a team structured for dual meets. We're a tournament kind of team. We like to win dual meets. Obviously, everyone does. We'd love to win the Ivy Leagues. But our roster is more geared towards the tournaments than the dual meets.
And really what that is stallions. When you have your stallions, you can ride them in tournaments because they go deep into the tournament, into the championship, and that's big points. Dual meets, you have to have balance. Because even though you might have a stallion, they might have a stallion, and that negates yours, and then it falls down on your other wrestlers. So balance, very key in dual meet.
Coach Weiss was hoping to have his full stable of stallions back for this weekend, but with Andrew Flanagan back at school and Bode Ogulale hurting his tricep against Lehigh, that's 2 more injuries now. He has, well, 1 more injury he has to deal with. Flanagan will be back as they get into Ivy League competition.
Tababin able to get an escape there, now up 11-0, and he's doing a great job. He can get another takedown and a turn. That's a technical fall.
There's your summary right there. 11-0 lead. Just under 3 minutes in the riding time advantage, and under a minute and a half to go in the match.
And that's locked up now. There's no way that riding time can be erased, so that's another point in the bank.
That's quick math. Impressed by that. I can figure that out.
How many years in wrestling? I think I should be able to add by now. Let's see how Tababin goes after him here. Nice double leg, pop the arms up, drives through, nearly catches him on his back.
2 more points for the takedown to make it a 13-0 lead for Tababin.
Tababin is strong. I'm telling you, boy, it's just to watch him grind it out and watching Knapp's face, him going for the cross face there. Powerful individual. I'm not sure I like the guillotine effect there. He's capable of a tilt, and here it comes. He's got the lock again. Can he pull him over? All right, that's a technical fall if he gets off his back. Either pins him or it's a tech fall, and it's a tech fall.
Technical fall earns 5 points for Army. 4 points, excuse me. No, 5 points. They just changed it on the scoreboard. It was 17, now it's 18. So Tabobin improves to 10-2, but it's not enough, obviously, for the Cadets to pull this one off. Harvard comes up with the road win, 22-18, and that's got to feel good for Coach Weiss, despite being undermanned, to get the road victory.
Oh, without question. It's always good to win your first one. You get your team on a roll. They got snake bitten. They got some injuries and some issues, but if they're able to balance it out, if Ogulole is not seriously hurt, they're going to be tough.
Up next for Harvard, it's time to get into the Ivy League, but the Crimson pick up the dual meet win. Nathan Tabobin picks up the match, though, for Army. His team improves to 10-2. We'll be back with Coach Weiss right after this.
Where will West Point take you? Building on a tradition of excellence, over 40 majors, engineering, science, cultural immersion, physical and military training, all in a moral, ethical environment. For over 2 centuries, West Point graduates have served America with distinction, influencing the course of history. The West Point experience will prepare you as a leader of character. Where will West Point take you? To your place in history.
Oh, that's funny. The water doesn't work. Neither does the ice dispenser.
Point taken.
Need a new appliance? The Home Depot can help you update like never before. Get innovative energy-saving appliances from top brands like GE, Maytag, and LG. Plus, get 10% off your Energy Star appliance.
The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Anything can happen in the world of animation. Just watch how this toy is brought to life. Learn to animate, and you could make money through movies and video games. Or even help create cartoons for TV. Careers in animation are hot and in demand. All you need to get started is the right training and a little imagination.
Train online, 800-658-0038. Call now. So you've got the hottest cell phone. Now you need the hottest games to play on it. Get the latest and greatest games to play anytime, anywhere you want. Text FF35 for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Text SP35 for Spider-Man. Text MD35 for Magical Drop 2. Or text DD35 for Diner Dash. And send it to 77888. Choose any of these great games to play right on your cell phone. And don't forget to text your choice to 77888.
Who does the interview?
It was Harvard's day at West Point as the Crimson comes up with a 22-18 win over Army. Coach Jay Weiss's team's first dual meet win of the season, and the coach joins us now as we put a bonnet, wrap up this victory for Harvard. And Coach, we talked to you before the match. You certainly weren't in a great mood as once again your team was undermanned. It had to deal with no Bode Ogulole for you, but they were able to be resilient and come up with the road win.
Yeah, we really needed this. I think they wrestled well yesterday and just kind of lost a lot of 3 starters out. And I just liked how my team responded after yesterday. They fought. And, guys come in, had big matches. Even guys that lost, 174. Patrick Zimnick, he just gave up a major and just fought the whole time. So I think we needed this, definitely. So.
Coach, there's a lot of fans of Harvard wrestling out there. Ogulole last year was an All-American for you. Can you give us some idea of his medical condition right now?
We obviously don't know anything until he gets an MRI hopefully this week, tomorrow when we get back. I don't know if it looks good. It was something that he had to stop the match, and Bode's never going to not finish a match. But, so I was very concerned when our trainer said he's done. I was kind of shocked. I didn't really know what happened in the flurry when he got hurt yesterday. So we're going to hope for the best. It's his last year. He's got about a month left in the season, so hopefully the MRI will show nothing's going wrong and we can get him back on the mat.
You had your first national champion since Harkness back in 1938. That was a special moment when Jesse Jansen, your assistant coach, won. How influential has he been with your wrestlers? Saw a lot of Crab, Half Nelson out there.
Absolutely. You're going to see his ride a lot, and do well. And I don't think, not just his technique, but also that he did it at Harvard. He won a national title at Harvard, so there's no excuse. It's like it allows other people to dream big, and people that can come to Harvard and win a national title. So it's exciting. It's obviously a close friend of mine too, so it's real nice to have him on the side of me.
And Jay, one of the guys he has the biggest influence on is your freshman, J.P. O'Connor. It was a special moment today for J.P. with his former teammates here from Oxford here to see him on. But what a season he's been having as a freshman. Yeah,
he really, we saw it from the get-go. He just does everything right. He's a fierce competitor, which I think, really puts him in every match he's in. It's hard to score on. He's good in every position on his feet, offensive, defensively, and top and bottom. So I'm looking for, it's going to be a nice ride next month with him. He's just, he deserves everything he's getting because he works hard. He works hard.
That's the future of Harvard wrestling, but your seniors came up big today for you at 133 and 141, and you were telling us that with Robbie Preston and Max Meltzer, teammates in high school, longtime teammates at Harvard, just them back in the room is a big difference for your club. Tell us about that.
Well, obviously, starting off at 25, Army got a pin, so we had to stop the momentum, and I told Robbie, I thought he wrestled a good match yesterday against Lehigh. I wanted him to be more aggressive. I wanted him to dominate today, and he, from the whistle, he was on his guy's legs for 4 times in the first 10 seconds, so I knew it was something a little different for Robbie, and then he got on top and pinned him, so he got the job done, and that really sparked us, and Max followed up with a nice win in overtime, so definitely it means a big difference when you start getting wins like that. The team rally. Look at, we won the next 5 bouts or whatever, so did a nice job.
You say that you're a better tournament team than you are a dual meet team, and we all know dual meets are very important. That really is your season. But for fans that may not know, why do you feel you're a better tournament team?
Well, I think we got 5 or 6 guys that can go far, not just past, I'm talking past Eastern, EIWA. So that's not, obviously we train for the end of the year, but and these are important. I think these are steps that throughout the training they're going to get us better. Now we'll go back and watch film.
Short-term goals, if you will.
And that gets us to where we need to be. But I think we're going to peak. I had a stretch right now where we had final exams, so I think our practices are going to pick up, and we're going to be ready for March.
Well, wish you the best luck. Hope Ogulole is healthy.
I hope so too. Thanks a lot, guys.
Coach, thank you very much for the time. It's up next for the Ivy League for Harvard. Now, once again, the final score, Harvard wins at 22-18. Coming up next, inside the Big East. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jeff and our entire crew, I'm Eamon McEnany.